Hey everyone, today I'm really excited to bring you the Pantheon Dual Overdrive Deluxe. So for starters, I do want to say thank you to Wampler for sending this over to review. I'm really excited about this for a number of reasons. Obviously, just the fact that it's a great, cool dual overdrive. I am a massive fan of the original Pantheon. I've always felt that with that pedal you could really go the distance. The other thing is that there's obviously, and a lot of people have talked about this in videos already, but there's obviously, you can't really talk about this one without at least mentioning kind of the King of Tone. And I am on the 3-year wait list for the King of Tone. So that being said, the Pantheon is a great Bluesbreaker style overdrive that goes a lot further, and this one takes it even further than that. And this is just a superbly great pedal, very versatile, but also very easy to use. So we'll talk about it a little bit. You've just heard it with a Gibson Firebird for tones that I just found particularly inspiring, and that was going into a Fender Bassman. Next we're going to hear it with a Stratocaster and change it up a little bit. Now I'm not going to, you could spend probably an hour going over all the different features that this has. First of all, I do want to mention one of the most important things, because this was something that I didn't realize at first glance. One of the things that I liked about the Pantheon was the gain and the voice switch. And when I saw that they came out with a deluxe, I thought, oh well, they're gone. They're not. They're on the side, and you've got them for both channels, which is really cool. Now, channel 1, according to the literature, channel 1 is more of a classic Bluesbreaker, whereas channel 2 is more like your regular Pantheon. So they are voiced slightly differently, but in the same, definitely very close in the same ballpark. And the other thing is there's a lot of versatility for each channel and a lot of different ways you can run them together, and that's where it gets really cool in my opinion. And I do want to mention at this point, if you look at the top, you'll notice that there's 4 inputs. There's an input output for each channel, so you can actually run them in stereo, or you can even insert another pedal in between the 2 channels. So again, massively versatile. So what I was doing there was I had the gain selector on channel 1 set lower and the gain selector on channel 2 set higher. For the next part, I'm going to switch it. So I'm going to run channel 1 on higher gain and channel 2 on lower gain. Now this will get a lot of gain, it will get a lot of drive. One of the things that I liked about the original Pantheon that I like about this too is that if you know the Bluesbreaker circuit, the classic, the now infamous in a way, of course, with John Mayer and with Analog Man, and just this whole history with boutique pedals. And one of the interesting things about the Bluesbreaker pedal, going right back to the original one that Marshall produced, is they did a series of pedals that were supposed to be amp-like, and the Bluesbreaker, the most popular one, was the one that I didn't think was very amp-like. As in, like, if you played a Shredmaster or a Governor, yeah, they sounded like a hot rod Marshall amp on overdrive. It sounded like you were now plugging into a Marshall amp, whatever your rig was. The Bluesbreaker, and this is, and I have a Bluesbreaker right here, the Bluesbreaker doesn't sound like the amp. It's not like it's a modeling pedal. It just sounds like a cool low to mid gain overdrive that does a neat thing it's not totally transparent, but it's not like a tube screamer. It's got kind of its own voicing, and there's like definitely a hint of the British flavor in it, but it's not like you click on that pedal and you go, oh, it's like I'm playing into a vintage Marshall. That sound you get more from like the Plexi Drive. The Bluesbreaker was just a cool overdrive pedal. Well, the Pantheon, the original Pantheon, and this one does both. You can get the cool Bluesbreaker pedal sound, and you can get really cool Marshall style amp drive out of it. So again, just a lot you can do. Now you notice I have the presence rolled all the way off, again per the literature, and this was one of the things that I liked about the first Pantheon is that's really just there if you need it. I will say this is pretty bright in a lot of ways, and particularly the way that I was running it and going into the Bassman. It's got a lot of top end. It didn't have shrill or harsh overtones, but it has a lot of top end, so I found myself backing the treble off a little bit and certainly not needing the presence. I think you'd really need to have a dark sounding rig to need much of the presence, but it is there if you need it, so that's kind of nice. And also it comes with and has hookup for MIDI control, so all kinds of things, as well as adjusting which channel is going into which you know, obviously you can set them up differently, and you can also change the order, and you can put other pedals. There's just a million things that you can do. Let us know in the comments what you think. Is this one that you have, that you want? Do you have the regular Pantheon? Do you stack it with other pedals? Let us know. Stick around for some tones from the Fender Stratocaster. I'm Jack Fossett. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.